Hey everybody, it's now time for my short narration review intro for the 2023 summer blockbuster CGI animated movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TMNT Mutant Mayhem. What a phenomenal movie this was. Once again, Nickelodeon, Paramount, and the makers behind the TMNT movies, they have once again outdone themselves. Back in the mid to late 2010s, when the other two live action Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies came out, I thought those were the supreme best in the Ninja Turtles franchise and the best Ninja Turtles films ever. And especially the second one, Out of the Shadows, they're still the best when it comes to live action Ninja Turtles. But when it comes to the best Ninja Turtles movie period and the best Ninja Turtles period, this movie right here, Mutant Mayhem, and the 2012 series are the best. And once again, they've outdone themselves. I thought Out of the Shadows and stuff was the best. This one right here is even better. So with each decade, with each year, they outdo themselves. And this has got me sort of reinterested in Ninja Turtles. Let me tell you the truth. Ninja Turtles is another one of those franchises, just like Dragon Ball and Spider-Man and many more I can't think of at the moment, that I absolutely can't stand as a whole. There are bits and pieces of the franchise that I like, but as a whole, I can't stand them. When it comes to Spider-Man, I actually like everything in Spider-Man except for the Andrew Garfield and Sony-based Spider-Mans. But when it comes to Ninja Turtles, don't like Ninja Turtles. I like the 80s and 90s cartoon, the 2012, which I consider the best, the Michael Bay, which I consider the best in live action, especially the sequel, Out of the Shadows, which is the best live action Ninja Turtles period. It was the best Ninja Turtles movie period until the appearance of this now, Mutant Mayhem. So after the cancellation of the Michael Bay films and they announced they were going to be rebooted, I had no interest in Ninja Turtles anymore, because I figured the reboot, instead of continuing on from where Out of the Shadows was or continuing with that style, I figured they would probably do something closer to the original Mirage comic books, the original live action films in the 2003 series, all of which I think suck. In my opinion, they're all suck, and they're only good for nostalgia. Each of those, especially the 2003 series. So I figured they would copy those, but no. The reboot. It still follows the style of the 80s and 90s cartoon. Yes, that version of Ninja Turtles is the state. Every time they bring back Ninja Turtles, they always bring that version back, and now the most recent version of 2012, the 80s and 90s version, was the one that gave them their signature personalities and gave them their different color headbands and pads and stuff. Then the 2012 version was the first to ever picture them looking different, the Turtles appearing different from each other. The only ways you could tell them apart was their color scheme. Each were lighter and darker than the other, and their headband and voice actor. Yeah. Now they have more individual traits that make them different from each other. That all it originated in the 2012 version. And another thing I like about this movie right here was the ultimate mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the actual Mutant Ninja Turtles. One thing I couldn't stand about Ninja Turtles, another thing I don't like, they call the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Ninja Turtles when you see nothing mutant about them. They can do everything a human can do it, other than when they're fighting other beings like Bebop, Rocksteady, Rat King, and many Krang and many characters like that. These are the only mutants in the show. Characters like Shredder and them aren't, unless he becomes Super Shredder, aren't mutants. I like to call it Teenage Human Ninja Turtles. This is actually mutants. They're mutants themselves. Trying to find equality in the world, and they come into contact with other mutants who, for the first time in a Ninja Turtles film, for the first time in a while and for the first time period, the Shredder is not the main antagonist. Is not a main antagonist. It doesn't appear at all. Instead, it's a new antagonist named Superfly, who takes presence, and Bebop and Rocksteady have an interesting role here, which I like because I'm a huge fan of Bebop and Rocksteady and happy that they were included. But their role here was interesting and different from anything in Ninja Turtles. You gotta see the Part 2 real life superhero version for the full-on spoilers, even though I think this has been out for like a year. I think everyone has seen this, but just in case, I think everyone has seen this. Then you got the Part 1 webcam where I talk about my origins, why I waited so long to see this So yeah, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. What a phenomenal movie this was. And yes, I will be responding to haters and critics of this movie, because this is also the first Ninja Turtle to do the impossible, and that's get a super gigantic score on the Rotten Tomato meter. They got like a 90 something, and for the most part positive reviews. Most Ninja Turtles films get mixed to negative reviews, get mixed to negative to average reviews. So yeah, the Part 1 off-camera webcam version will be in the description box below, and the Part 2 larger on-camera real-life superhero version, Daytime by the Window, will be in the description box below. Just like with Sonic the Hedgehog and Deadpool and Wolverine, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, I apologize for the short audio problem in the Part 2 entrance walkway of my walkway of my video. For some reason, the Back in Time, the Sonic Back in Time song, for some reason doesn't play in the video. It's an error I had when recording this and didn't notice until I had recorded and uploaded it to Facebook, and no matter how hard I try, how many times I deleted and re-recorded and re-uploaded it, I couldn't get rid of the error. So that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with from now on when I do that version using that intro. So yeah. So yeah, only issues I would have with this film is the CGI animation is awesome, but the artwork is a little too cartoonish. It's a little weird and too cartoonish. But other than that, phenomenal movie, Mutant Mayhem, man. When it comes to Ninja Turtles, CGI animation, even though I like the idea of live action, CGI animation is the way to go. So yeah, both versions will be in the description box below. Get ready, and once again, you haven't seen it already, get out there and see this awesome movie. But I guess if you're like a hardcore Ninja Turtles fan and are still stuck in the past, and I guess I kind of skip this movie unless you're a fan of the 80s and 2012 versions of the Ninja Turtles like I am, then I'd recommend seeing this movie. So with that being said, I'm finished.